Alright, so the sound wasn't working. This will be the fourth attempt today to do the status report. The first one was the first one I tried was Google, and I got this email saying they were doing, Google Meet, and or is it Hangout or something? And maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. But anyway, I went into the Google Meet or meeting, said record playing, and recorded my status report. Stopped the recording, closed the meeting, just like on Zoom. Now, that all went well, but where is the actual file that was the recording? I couldn't find it anywhere. And it wasn't where it said it was supposed to be. So it doesn't exist. So apparently that's not really ready for prime time. So moving on, I went into photo booth, and that's what I'm doing right now, just recording with the settings on my desktop, which isn't really, I don't think it's as useful as Zoom and some of the others, because you can't show the screen, so I'm not going to be able to demo anything or teach you anything. And secondly, it uses the default settings of your system. So the first time I did it, there was no sound. The sound was too low. I couldn't hear the voice on the recording, which was a bit annoying, to be honest. So I'd already uploaded it to YouTube by the time I figured out that there was no sound on it. So I wasted a ton of time there. So then I came back. It's 4:30 now. It's been like an hour. And I'm recording it again. So how many times is that? 1, 2. This will be the third time. Oh, yeah, I think the third time. If you don't count the tiny little troubleshooting ones that I made. But anyway, it's time to wrap it up, and I got things to do tonight. So I've got to give the status report pretty quickly. So they started it out in the morning with planning. Now planning seems to be working pretty well because I don't know, it makes me feel, it sets my mind at ease that I'm actually working on the right things and I have a plan. I'm not forgetting to do something. And I don't know if I'm doing it really that well, but I'm doing it a little bit, like planning my day. And it's given me the motivation to actually do the things on the list, and not get distracted and start watching videos on different things. So then I went for another run yesterday. You may remember in the status report I ran 4 miles, over 4 miles. And today I'm happy to report I did another 4 miles. So that's 8 miles this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that tomorrow. We will have to see. But yeah, my health feels better because it's, your lungs usually determine your health. And if you're using your lungs, exercising your lungs, you're going to improve your health. And also I feel that it helps me with my mental health, like my cloudiness, fogginess. So, what did I want to say about that? Helps with your fogginess, running, mental health. You also, there's some up and downhill where I run this loop. So, part of it is strenuous and I start to sweat and I get out of breath. So it's testing my system. I think it's improving my health. And I don't feel as motivated to do other things during the day, like eat too much or drink or something. I don't feel those tendencies. It seems to wash them away a bit. And then when I finally did get around to doing some actual work, which was maybe around 10:30 this morning, I went through my emails and I got this email about like a status update, like what's happening with the testing guild, is it called? And on there, they had a video presentation, like an interview, basically, or like a podcast about a team project manager from Playwright that was talking about how they implemented an MCP. So what is an MCP? It's a way to give capabilities to a large language model. So when a model can do things, we call it an agent. So it's like an AI agent. And these capabilities allow it to browse the internet, basically, click on items on web pages, navigate on the internet, fill in forms, and basically use an application and understand the application state. It also has a built-in capabilities for API testing. And so that is very interesting because you could have an agent have the capabilities to run tests on a web application. And so when I thought about that more, I went back to what I was doing on my previous job, which was to basically create a framework that could run any type of test I wanted to using keywords and data. So, for example, I want you to sign up for this website. Well, you need a bunch of data, and it has to be unique, right? Because once you've signed up one user, you're not able to reuse that email address. There are ways around that. But assume that you would be using different email addresses. You'd have different rows of data that you wanted to test with, right? So sign up a bunch of users. That could be something. It could be a test, or it could just be a preparation step for other testing, right? I need users that have signed up. Different users, I'm going to give them different capabilities. I'm going to change their access and run different tests. So that could be useful. But also it leads to something else. Like if I can create a framework that has the capability to provide in an MPC different keywords and capabilities, then a reasoning agent should be able to use that to design and run tests. And so the human in the loop that is setting up all these tools and doing this if they also have the testing mindset, then they're going to be able to coordinate these tools to do the types of testing they want accomplished without having to be hands-on with the test, sort of like being a test manager that coordinates different testers to run different tests and so on. So this got pretty interesting, and I thought that this would be the first mission for my new company, CalGentiK, to try and create this type of system and to offer consulting to companies that are looking for something like this and eventually build products and services out of it and sell that. So that is basically what I got done today. I did a lot of thinking, I guess, and planning. And also it made me realize I'm going to have to use these RAG tools. So I'm going to have to go back and finish that project for RAG and get RAG working, because that's how you would store and provide the knowledge context to these agents. So I'll have to get that done. Learn how to build MCPs myself is another one. And basically learn how to connect Playwright as a tool for these agents to use. So I think that's it. Tuesday, July the 8th, 4:37 p.m. signing off.